along our coast. I'll talk about the chances for some showers still in the forecast coming up in greater detail. But first, let's head back up to Justin and see what's going on over our freeways. Oh, a semi accident here, Justin. What's going on?
Yeah, not good news for these two drivers or three drivers. We've got two sedans there involved with a bit of a bingle with a semi-trailer. Severe damage to that truck, the rear there, but the impact is also hurting a lot of drivers. We've got 3 lanes taken away here. This is all happening out in Baldwin Park, the 10 freeway eastbound. So there's vehicles are squeezing by there. This is actually a huge freeway here, 6 lanes there you see there, but 3 of those lanes are taken away. We do have a Huntington Park or Baldwin Park police officer on scene there at this stage. No CHP. Unclear how long this is going to be going on for, but it isn't actually really causing much of a backup on the eastbound side. But I got to tell you, the westbound side this morning is really slow and go. You're looking at about an hour from this location if your destination is downtown. Bob and Jen?
All right, Justin, thank you. We have some breaking news out of Fullerton now. 2 people needed medical care after a fire broke out this morning, destroying 3 mobile homes. The extent of the injuries is unclear. Firefighters just got the call before 5 o'clock this morning. It all happened on the 1800 block of West Orangethorpe Avenue near Brookhurst. 3 units caught on fire, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Meantime, a car accident in Woodland Hills kills a passenger.
Police say they'll file a criminal complaint against the driver. We have Gigi Graciette there on scene now with more. Gigi.
That driver was in the process of being released from the hospital and being taken to LAPD Van Nuys Station, where he'll face charges of suspicion of driving under the influence and vehicular manslaughter. There you are looking live at the scene. That blue Mustang is the car that 3 men in their 20s were in when the driver lost control and slammed into a tree, according to police. Take a look at the video. It happened here on Valley Circle between Valerie and Victory at 1:30 this morning. Police believe the driver lost control because they say he was under the influence of alcohol, crashed into the tree where the car caught fire. The driver was able to get out with minor injuries. The backseat passenger was also able to get out of the car unhurt, we are told. But sadly, the passenger, a man in his 20s, in the front seat, died instantly. There was nothing that paramedics could do for him. People who live in the area say they heard the crash. One man grabbed some fire extinguishers and went running to try to put out the fire before firefighters arrived. Another man said he heard the victims screaming for help. He tried to help, but there was nothing he could do either.
And it seemed like they either slammed on the brakes or started slipping. And all I heard was just a loud noise. And I came outside and I heard 2 of the kids screaming, "Help, help." So I went right outside to see what was going on, and I saw the kid, like, pretty much was stuck on the passenger side.
The identity of the male passenger who died here will be released by the medical examiner once his family is notified. His body was just taken away moments ago. Bringing it back here live, Valley Circle southbound traffic has just reopened. Northbound traffic, though, is shut down at Valerie. You will have to take an alternate route until they can clear the crash scene. Again, the driver, said to be only 20 years old, now facing both vehicular manslaughter for the death of his passenger and charges of suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you.
Thank you, Gigi.
All right, so it's all eyes on the Supreme Court this morning as we await a major decision on President Trump's tariff authority.
We've got Doug Luzader live for us in Washington, keeping an eye on the situation there. So it's still not really clear whether or not we'll hear from the Supreme Court today, right? The term actually ends in June, but they seemingly have fast-tracked this issue.
That's right. And if I seem a little distracted during our discussion, it's because I'm trying to keep an eye here on what the court is coming out with, because these decisions, today's decisions, are being released as we speak. And there's been 2 or 3 cases that have come out, none of which are the one that we're waiting for, which is the tariff decision. But so much at stake here. The real, and we keep talking about the underpinning of Trump's economic approach really has to do with tariffs. And if the court decides that he's gone too far, that he has violated his authority, then all of a sudden it's back to the drawing board for the White House, and we might have to refund a lot of money to folks that have paid a lot of money in tariffs since the president has first instituted them.
How much? I mean, yeah. How much money are we talking about? In the trillions, right? Or at least the billions?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the number's changing constantly, obviously, because, you know, the money keeps coming into the Treasury. But
right.
It's probably $150, $160 billion, something in that neighborhood. Now, it may be that the court ultimately decides in some middle ground here, that they rein in some of the president's authority but allow this revenue to stay. We don't know. But during oral arguments on this case, this is something the court recognized, how difficult it would be to unwind all of this should they give a decision that was not favorable to the White House.
So this will have a huge impact on the economy, not just our economy, but of course the worldwide economy. We're going to take a look at the stock market right now, Doug. The Dow now down almost 700 points here to 48,657. Investors out there kind of rattled by what decisions that may happen today, and also these tariffs that the president is suggesting to impose on Europe over Greenland.
That's right. I'm sorry. We have another decision, but it's not the one we're waiting for.
Okay.
You're right. One thing with the markets were obviously closed yesterday because of the federal holiday. So everything that was kind of pent up, the frustration, the uncertainty over the course of the weekend, the long holiday weekend, is all coming to bear today. And there is so much uncertainty because we have the talk of now these additional tariffs hitting Europe over this Greenland issue, plus the uncertainty about what the court is going to do about this tariff decision. And all of that is a weight on the market right now.
Yeah, and there is some thought that President Trump threatened the certain countries in Europe with these tariffs as we get closer to Davos, which should be an interesting topic of conversation there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the president's going to be meeting with some of the same European leaders that he has threatened these new tariffs on. So 8 countries in Europe would be targeted with these tariffs starting in February, 10% across the board. Although we did hear from the Treasury Secretary today urging European allies to kind of pump the brakes a little bit on any kind of possible retaliation while all of this kind of settles in and we wait to hear what happens with Greenland. It's just not clear. You know, we talk about middle ground with the High Court. It's not clear what the middle ground with Greenland would be unless it's some kind of face-saving agreement where the U.S. gets even more access to potential defense positions in Greenland. Don't know, but that's going to be a topic of discussion over the next few days.
Really quickly, Doug, making headlines this morning, Trump has threatened to put tariffs on champagne.
Now, see, that's where I draw a line.
200%.
That's right.
Wow.
Now the pitchforks come out, right?
Right.
The thing to keep in mind about this is he may be 100% serious. It may have been just kind of a off-the-cuff remark. It seemed like it was an off-the-cuff remark when he was asked about France deciding not to fully participate in his peace board that the president is creating. He talked about, 200% tariffs or something on French wine, kind of venting some anger at France. So we don't know how serious. Oh, by the way, I think that's all the decisions for today.
Okay. Wow.
So we wait again, I guess. But regardless, everyone is waiting with bated breath to see what happens with the High Court on this.
And so are the markets. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug.
It's impressive that Doug is. He's doing like this with this hand, and the other hand is doing this.
A true multitasker in every sense of the word there, Doug.
I couldn't do that. Thanks so much, Doug.
Thank you.
The trial for former Dodgers player Yasiel Puig is set to begin in downtown L.A. He's accused of lying to investigators about sports betting. The 35-year-old is charged with obstruction of justice and 2 counts of making false statements to federal investigators. Puig spent 6 seasons with the Dodgers in the mid-2000s and left the league in 2019. Prosecutors say between July and September of the same year, he placed 899 bets on tennis, football, and basketball games. Puig is denying the allegations.
Streaming giant Netflix is doubling down in the battle for Hollywood. Today, Netflix shifted its multi-billion-dollar bid to an all-cash offer. By ditching the stock swap and offering straight cash, Netflix is trying to box out a rival bidder and make the deal impossible for shareholders to refuse. If the nearly $83 billion deal goes through, HBO, the DC Universe, and the Warner Brothers Film Library would all move under the Netflix umbrella. A final vote is now fast-tracked for April.
7:11 is your time. Still ahead, people living in El Segundo say they are at war with mosquitoes and they need help. Why they are calling it an absolute nightmare.
And some crazy video out of Michigan. We'll tell you how many vehicles were involved in this massive chain reaction crash. More on that when we come back. .15, our top stories this morning. Former Lakers superstar Lamar Odom was arrested in Las Vegas and charged with DUI. The 46-year-old was arrested early Saturday morning for allegedly driving more than 41 miles per hour over the speed limit. He's set to appear in Nevada court on March 17th.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will attend tomorrow's Supreme Court argument over President Trump's attempt to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. The president claims Cook committed mortgage fraud, which she denies. This comes after months of mounting tensions between the White House and the central bank.
In Seal Beach, people can expect to see a lot more military and police activity around the Naval Weapons Station in the next few weeks. The base personnel will be participating in a nationwide security drill called Citadel Shield Solid Curtain 2026. The drill starts today and runs through February 9th. It's intended to test the weapons station's ability to work with the local community and first responders.
3 people walked away from an accident involving a Waymo driverless taxi and a rental SUV in Westchester. The accident happened near LAX last night at the intersection of Centinela and Alvern Street. The driverless Waymo taxi had a passenger, and the SUV had reportedly just been rented by 2 people at LAX. Everyone exchanged information. How did the Waymo exchange information? Everyone exchanged information like here's my driver's license.
I do wonder how that works.
The police are looking into who was at fault. I'm guessing it's the human drivers.
Let's get up to Justin. He's over some breaking news now in Ontario. A crash there. Good morning, Justin.
Yeah, g'day again, Jen. Yeah, sad news here. Hearing somebody lost their life here. Just look at that car split through the middle. Apparently it hit a tree. Now, the backstory to this is that Ontario PD apparently tried to pull this vehicle over at around about 2 a.m. this morning. The vehicle fled. Now, they're not calling it a pursuit, but shortly after they found this vehicle crashed into the trees here. This is at the 10 freeway westbound at the Euclid exit. You can just imagine the impact into these trees to cause that damage. Interestingly enough, also an Ontario PD vehicle, as it was responding here quickly, also crashed, damaging the vehicle, but the officer was not hurt. Now, the impact for the drivers heading out to Ontario this morning, the off-ramp here at Euclid is shut down, but you can see that vehicle is almost on the flatbed, so I could imagine that this off-ramp will be open probably within the next hour or so. Again, somebody losing their life out here today, fleeing from police early this morning. Again, Ontario PD are not calling a pursuit. At the investigation is being conducted by the CHP. You can see those officers down there. Live above Ontario. Back to you guys in the studio.
Car sheared in half. All right. Thank you, Justin. Only on Fox 11 now, a community at war with mosquitoes. Residents in El Segundo say they have been swatting and spraying at all hours of the day, trying to fight these things off. They first noticed the invasion about 2 months ago, and since then things have gotten a lot worse. The hardest hit zone is apparently the northwestern section of El Segundo, so that is sandwiched between the LAX airport and the Hyperion water treatment plant.
Family man trying to live my best life. I would love somebody to take accountability for why this is happening.
I don't know what the solution is. I just know we need some help.
It's an absolute nightmare. We invest a lot of money to live in a beautiful town like El Segundo. The last thing that we want to be doing is staying up all night.
I'm itching just looking at that video. Look at all those mosquitoes in that trap. We contacted the water treatment plant, and so far we are still waiting for a response.
What's troubling about this is that it's just January.
Right, I was thinking that. This is not mosquito season, right?
I am still keeping my doors and windows open sometimes, you know, just let the air in and just enjoy the breeze and the cooler temperatures. But gosh, the summertime, it's going to be just miserable out
Also,
there.
is there anything worse than when you're trying to sleep and you hear the...
Yeah, you try to put it over the covers over your head.
Right.
You're like,
It's tough. I mean, we had all this rain, right? All that water. I think Mother Nature and just in general is kind of confused. Like,
yeah, that.
It's the worst.
Can't.
It does give me the chicken skin, guys.
Yeah, it does.
But we have wisteria in our backyard, and I think they're confused by what's going on with Mother Nature, because it's still got a lot of leaves and even a couple little flower buds, so they don't know what season we're in right now. But we are going to change things up now. We are headed for this cooling trend, and it has cooled a little bit. It's going to continue today because of this area of low pressure, this cutoff low that's going to move close to us, and you can see some of the moisture that's getting picked up by this computer model and the radar. So we got a 10 to 20% chance for some showers beginning Thursday into Friday, and maybe even some leftover showers on Saturday, depending how quickly this cutoff low will move through just to our south. This will give us very little in the way of rain, more nuisance rain really, as we look at the chances 20% for a pop-up sprinkle here or there into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. High temperatures, though, today still remain warmish with the slight offshore flow. 77 for downtown LA. That's still above normal. 80 in Indio. If you're headed to Las Vegas today, 65 degrees there. Here's your day planner for Anaheim. We've got mostly sunny skies, getting up to around 76 to 78 later this afternoon, and then back down to 72 later this evening. 39 degrees at 9 a.m. in Big Bear. Finally, still in the teens at this hour, and then getting into the mid-upper 50s later today with some mostly sunny skies. All right, don't go anywhere, because we're going to be right back after this quick break. We got so much more.
Welcome back. Okay, this is huge. A new pop-up exhibit honoring the late singer Selena is now open at the Grammy Museum.
Yeah, Coco McAvoy is there with more. Good morning.
Hey there. So I love Selena like so many of us do. So it's just so amazing to have this really special exhibit here at the Grammy Museum. This is called Grammy Museum Presents Selena from Texas to the World. I am here now with Kelsey Gels, who is the curator. So tell us more about this pop-up exhibit.
We are so excited to have Selena here in LA. So this is the first time all these artifacts have left her hometown, her home museum in Corpus Christi, Texas. And we're just so honored to bring these items to the fans in LA so they can see things up close and get to know Selena even better.
Yes, and tell us about this first section here.
This is the very early years. So Selena started singing when she was about 6 years old, and she really got on stage closer to 9 years old. You can see here her sister Suzette's snare drum and stool, because her sister was behind her on the drums, and her brother AB's bass. And you also can see photos of her mother and father. Her dad managed the group.
Such beautiful photos, and really bouncing off of that, the fact that the family is involved in this museum here, right?
Yes, we worked very closely with Suzette, again, her sister and her best friend, to pick all these items. Because there is a Selena museum in Corpus Christi, we wanted to make sure the fans there could still see lots of her items, but also here you get a full picture of who she was both on stage and off stage.
And of course, when we're talking about Selena, you've got to see the amazing outfits too,
right? Oh my goodness. These are some stunners over here. This first one is from the cover of Amor Prohibido. You have a leather outfit with ruffles, booties, earrings. Like, this one is just iconic, and I think she really, you know, brought that red lip and hoop earring combo to the masses.
And this exhibit has only been open for less than a week, but it's getting a huge reaction, right?
Yes, we have been so happy to welcome tons of Selena fans. So, I mean, we're so grateful that everybody's coming out and hopping in line to come into this space and really just share their love. And like, the community is turning out. It's amazing.
Yes, and we've got another beautiful gown here.
Yes, this is what Selena wore to the Grammy Awards in 1994, and this is, I think, the most special piece in the whole exhibit. There's so much detailed beadwork. Yeah. You can see she wore the iconic updo with the falling curls, and that night she took home an award for Best Mexican American Album. Suzette has amazing stories about her getting ready that day, getting her hair done, and these white shoes that went with the gown were actually in a box under a bed. So in the process of putting together this pop-up, she rediscovered these shoes, and we were able to show them to the fans.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey, for sharing this with us. What a special pop-up exhibit this really is at the Grammy Museum. It's definitely something for you to check out, especially if you're a Selena fan. And you heard from Kelsey that Selena fans are coming out in masses to really check out this exhibit, because it is intimate and really a chance to get to know her even better, and her family as well. It is open until March 16th.
She had widespread appeal and huge impacts to the music world, and just
so young.
23 years old, which is really amazing.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Coco. We'll check in with you to check out other parts of that exhibit. We appreciate it. Still ahead, drama in the Beckham family. We have more on the reported. I don't even know what's reported. It is a family feud that's going on.
Oh, yeah. Plus, it can be hard to know what really matters to kids today, but a new study is offering some insight. We'll take a look at what young people say they value the most. Morning's moving right along. Good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA. It's 7:30 on this Tuesday.
That's right. Morning's moving right along. We're getting more Beckham news.
Yeah,
we are. Now there's statements.
Now there's statements being made.
Yeah.
Checking
the
all
PR,
of it.
The PR machine is spinning.
That's right. 5 minutes. Come back. We're going to have a lot of thoughts on it.
Wow, that Beckham brand is like right on top of it all.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Anyway, a lot to talk about there. You're going to want to listen to it a little bit later, but I have a lot to tell you too weather-wise. Beautiful view of Santa Monica right now. We've got some colors. That sun is up, and it is going to warm up nicely today. A little cooler than yesterday, but still warm-ish, I would say, with temperatures getting up into the 70s in a lot of areas with a lot of sunshine. Currently 55 in downtown LA. That wind coming out of the north-northwest, 3 miles an hour, so mostly light. Still got the slight offshore flow, and that will help produce not just the sunshine, but those temperatures into the upper 70s. It'll cool down some more as we get into tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's that 10 to 20% chance for some light showers. There's a cutoff area of low pressure I'm watching. That's just going to bring us a nice shot of very light showers if we get any at all. By Sunday, things will dry out, and the early part of next week also will warm up a little bit more. Otherwise, we're going to finally break this trend of really hot, warm days, right? We had over a week already of way above average high temperatures, and all the rain we received so far has helped to really help mitigate the fire danger because it has been so dry and so warm. So that's a good thing. We have all that moisture in our vegetation. 77 today, cooler than yesterday, 79 for downtown LA, certainly above that average of 68. That sun will set at 5:12 later this afternoon. I don't know if you're noticing, but that sun is rising a minute earlier and also setting a minute later. So our daylight hours are growing longer and longer by each minute. 79 degrees in Woodland Hills today, 78 in Ontario. Eventually, it'll be around 58 in Big Bear to that 79 in Palm Springs. I'll send it back to you, too.
All right, Maria, thank you. A man is killed in a single-car crash. This all happened in Woodland Hills.
Police say the driver will face criminal charges. Gigi Graciette standing by with more on that. Gigi.
And right now, Valley Circle southbound traffic has reopened, but northbound it is closed. And this is really important if this is part of your morning commute, because across the street, we're watching children wait at a bus stop, and Metro buses are being rerouted. Apparently, maybe their parents did not watch the news this morning, and these kids are waiting for a bus that most likely will not be coming anytime soon. Now, you may be able to make out those flashing lights in the background. That is the tow truck working on removing the car that the victims were in. Take a look at the video. 1:30 this morning, 3 men in their 20s driving on Valley Circle. This is between Valerie and Victory. When the driver, according to police, lost control and slammed into a tree. The driver had minor injuries. The backseat passenger was unhurt, but unfortunately, the male passenger in the front seat, a man in his 20s, according to police, was killed instantly, and that is why Valley Circle is shut down. The driver of the car being arrested. He faces charges of suspicion of driving under the influence and vehicular manslaughter. He was being released for the hospital where he was being treated for minor injuries. Again, if Valley Circle is part of your morning commute here in Woodland Hills, southbound traffic has reopened. Northbound traffic remains closed while they clean up this crash scene. And that could take anywhere from, 15 minutes to another hour. We don't know. It's quite a mess over there that they need to bring in street services to clean up. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. Happening today, the 2026 Greater LA Homeless Count begins, and volunteers are still needed for this. So the count runs for 3 nights across LA County. They do this every year. It gathers crucial data to guide funding, policies, and services for homelessness relief. Organizers say last year's efforts helped reduce homelessness in Hollywood by 49%. The event begins at 8 p.m. at 6000 Hollywood Boulevard. If you want to volunteer to help with the count, you can still RSVP on the county's website.
The Metro Light Rail would be extended into the South Bay under a proposal up for approval on Thursday. The project would extend the Metro K line about 4.5 miles to run through the Redondo Beach Transit Center and end at the Torrance Transit Center. The LA Metro Board of Directors will also decide to place 2 new high-speed light rail tracks The Torrance Traffic Commission says the extension would reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions by more than 2,600 metric tons of carbon dioxide each year and create 65,000 jobs by 2042.
New research shows coffee might be able to do more than just wake you up in the morning. Researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences found that certain compounds in roasted coffee beans could help slow the stream of sugar into our blood. That research shows promise in supporting new foods that may manage type 2 diabetes in the future. The findings are published in the Beverage Plant Research Journal. And that leads us to our poll question of the day. What's your go-to pick-me-up? Coffee,
The emoji.
energy drinks, tea, or sugar? Notice there's no I don't need any substances option.
There are some people like that.
Yes.
There are some
Right? They
people
just
like
run on sunshine and good vibes.
and lollipops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Everyone stretch.
Okay.
We've been prepping for this one. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamaba Resort and Casino. Listen, I've been following this story for, I think, maybe 6 months at this point. But for the past few months, rumors of a family feud between Victoria, that's right, Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham, and David Beckham's oldest son, Brooklyn Peltz Beckham, have been getting louder and louder. And yesterday, in an effort to silence the noise, Brooklyn took to his own Instagram stories with his millions of followers to share in his own words what was going on. Let me take you back, because this seems to go back to Brooklyn and his wife Nicola Peltz's wedding back in April of 2022. Rumors swirled that Nicola was supposed to wear a wedding gown designed by her future mother-in-law, Victoria Beckham. Now, one rumor said that Nicola decided not to wear the gown, and it broke Victoria's heart. But as for Brooklyn's Instagram stories, he claims that Victoria stopped making the gown in the 11th hour, forcing Nicola to find a last-minute replacement gown.
Which story's right?
Right? That wedding also brought singer Mark Anthony into the mix, who sang at the couple's wedding. But when he introduced, quote, the most beautiful woman in the room to the dance floor, instead of it being the bride, Nicola, it was Mark referring to the mother of the groom, Victoria
Mark Anthony.
Beckham. He was messy for that. We can all agree. Come on, the most beautiful woman in the room is always the bride.
Always the bride.
Always.
Dude.
Brooklyn referenced that yesterday in his Instagram story with their dance being, quote, inappropriate and making him feel uncomfortable in front of 500 wedding guests. Then rumors heated up even more last year when Brooklyn and Nicola were not in attendance at David Beckham's 50th birthday in London. Brooklyn claimed he wanted quality time with his dear old dad leading up to the birthday, but that all of his attempts were rejected unless it was at his big birthday party with cameras around and media. And then just a couple of months ago, when Brooklyn was no longer following any of his Beckham family members on social media, he was doing a cooking post and Victoria commented on it, and that was the catalyst for him to no longer follow any of his family. So he did share a handful of lengthy story posts, 6 to be exact, writing out why he went no contact with his family, in part saying, I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life, since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. Okay.
Wait, can I share what David Beckham?
Yes.
Put out?
David Beckham has entered the chat via...
David Beckham has entered the chat.
Via a PR spokesperson, a statement.
Okay. Yes. Oh gosh, please tell me. Oh,
I have it.
Okay,
I have it.
Read it.
David Beckham saying about social media, it could be used for good or for bad. I've always spoken about social media and the power of social media. He says that he's been able to use his platform for his following in UNICEF, and it's been the biggest tool to make people aware of what's going on around the world and for his children. And he's tried to educate his children. And lastly, saying they make mistakes, but children are allowed to make mistakes. That is how they learn. That is what I try to teach my kids. You sometimes have to let them make those mistakes.
That's a loaded statement.
Except he's not a child anymore. And I think
he'll always be there.
He would also disagree with the idea that's a mistake. You know, what the messaging that he's been putting out there,
But I
right?
think
Characterized it
Brooklyn
as a mistake.
Beckham made it very clear, and I shouldn't have laughed, but he's 26 years old. And he is saying there very clearly, for the first time in my life, I am not going to be controlled.
Well, he was
right?
controlled for the
so there you
majority
go.
of his life because he was a kid.
They need to let him go and let him live his life with
It's
his
a very
wife.
like Prince Harry kind of situation, right?
They're right. There are three things. One, Harvey Levin, I'm looking at you. Please find this wedding videotape. People are saying that the way that somebody from across the pond deems something as inappropriate may not be the same as the way Americans see things as inappropriate. So perhaps she wasn't dropping it low on him. Maybe she was rubbing his face. We don't know, because they say that the way that somebody in the UK says inappropriate might not match to what our terms of inappropriate. Second thing, I watched a legal analysis of it is not abnormal for a family as big, as famous, as wealthy as the Beckhams to ask for Brooklyn to give the rights of his name, because they have so many businesses attached to the Beckham name that if things don't work out with him and his wife, who is rich in her own right,
or whatever,
that she could then take the Beckham name and do something with it. So they want to kind of protect it and keep it within their family.
That's fair.
I mean, I will say this with full confidence. These are rich people problems.
Oh, for sure.
100%. Because I don't think any of this would be happening if they were a normal...
She's an heiress.
I don't know. I think in regular families, things like this happen on a smaller scale.
To a smaller degree, but we're talking about a lot of wealth, a lot of power, a lot of privilege.
But prenups are common.
But the dynamics between a mother and her son, and the dynamics between a mother and a daughter-in-law, or a daughter-in-law with their mother, and I'm sure people out there would agree, will have these complicated relationships with their mothers-in-law and their daughters-in-law, and when the kids just, well, he's not a kid anymore, like I said, 26 years old, but it's very complicated, and it's tough for mothers to see that your son is now chosen a woman, yes, and
you
has
should
his
always
own
put
new
your wife
family.
first, but when you're attached to a business and a brand, there has to be separation of church and state. Some things it's just business, right? You can't be offended that they want that was their name.
Part of it's business, but this is definitely a family.
I feel bad for Brooklyn because I feel like he's getting muscled in between his mother and
now he says he's taking
his
control.
in-laws. Right. Maria, you are the mother of an adult son.
Yes.
Is he always still your baby, though, or do you let him and his wife handle all of their business?
You know what? He is my baby, but I have learned to shut my mouth. I just, I don't comment on their decisions. They're grown adults, and they pay their own bills, and they have a job, and so, I'm just the Lola.
That's right.
Keyword,
and I will always encourage Ethan to make his own decisions as long as he chooses me. Justin, for some traffic now. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Jen, and we've got everyday problems down here for these poor people making their way along the 60 freeway in Montebello. Good morning, everybody in Montebello as we tilt up here. This traffic is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, looking out there towards Monterey Park, and it's quite a long, easy drive, this area of the freeway this morning. Still some problems out there, though, on the 10 at Baldwin Park, where we saw that semi-trailer. The issue now is actually the westbound side. We've got a lot of slowing. Now, let's look at some other traffic hotspots.
After a car accident, beware of insurance companies bearing small checks. You may feel pressure to settle too soon and for too little money. Choose Jacoby & Myers. We've turned low insurance offers into big settlements.
Jacoby & Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Ooh, parents out there, I know you can relate to this. It is hard to get into the minds of kids and what they truly think is important. But a new study shows what they really value, and the results are pretty telling. Sandra's here to share some more. Good morning.
Yeah, so some surprising stuff in here. Jen, the world, of course, around kids are big. It's confusing and ever-changing. And sometimes the world, of course, is filled with conflict, turmoil, and a lot of pressure. And kids see all of it, whether adults realize it or not. When it comes to what kids want, it's pretty simple. Security.
Young people are valuing above all else being safe.
And that comes in different forms. A new survey from UCLA's Center for Scholars and Storytellers finds young people between the ages of 10 and 24 value safety the most.
School safety and gun violence in schools continues to be a concern for them and their parents on a daily basis. Them being able to kind of perceive and articulate that safety is so important to them year after year for us is really telling that they are aware, they're paying attention. They do want adults and people around them to know that they kind of see what's going on in the world and they want to be protected and they want to feel safe.
It's not only safety from violence, but also economic security as well.
We found that most young people, almost 60%, do want a traditional kind of version of the American dream and financial security in terms of their jobs. But the biggest barrier to that is economic security and their access to kind of economic, socioeconomic mobility. So I think that economic instability is absolutely contributes to their sense of not being safe and not feeling stable as they grow up.
The next most important value for young people, kindness and empathy.
Being kind to others and having empathy and accepting themselves. They want to see that more and more, and they want to exhibit that in their peer communities, in their schools. They're in really competitive environments in terms of school and getting into college. So they really want to find a way to accept themselves for who they are and accept their peers and be authentic and be able to show up in the world authentically and not be sort of put down or condemned for just being themselves.
And let's not forget, they're young, so having fun is key, partly because it serves as connection.
It's important for adults to see that it's okay for young people to have fun.
Adults can take a cue from the next generation to listen to their needs, keep them safe, and be hopeful the future will be full of compassion and care. Sandra Endo, Fox 11 News. And what is great about this generation that kids are also saying they want to change the world and achieve big things, according to this survey. Also interesting to note, though, things like being popular or famous and to be liked by everyone else is low on the list of values for kids, right?
Hallelujah.
You would think it's reversed in this day of social media and likes and acceptance.
More so than ever.
This was really surprising. That's why I really liked this survey, that the values are up there.
Yeah.
And safety is the number one.
They want to change the world, and they also want to be safe, and that's the thing, right? That's what makes it hard for parents because, gosh, you know how cruel the world can be. That's right. Especially now.
And they want to be seen,
protect them
like
forever.
Authentically, too.
Right.
All
they just
good
want to
things.
be themselves.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that, like, someday soon that social media is going to be looked at as, like, not cool anymore.
That's right.
Right? And kids will just want to unplug, and that's going to be the new cool thing to do, right? Is that human-to-human connection.
Yeah, I think it's going to circle back around to where that value with human-to-human sort of events and outings and things are valued way much more.
Right.
I agree with you, Jen. I think it's actually starting to make a little change.
Like there's going to be a backlash, right?
Yeah.
Especially with artificial intelligence, like us versus them, you know?
I was talking
not real anymore.
I was talking to some kids at my son's school, and they went up to Yosemite for a week. And I asked them, I go, what was the best part of the trip, and blah, blah, blah. And a few of the guys actually said, you know, it was actually refreshing not to have my phone with me for a week. And
that's great.
I was surprised.
I love that.
Yeah, we got to give them more credit.
Yeah. So they're actually, they got a lot of wisdom.
They do. Sometimes more than adults.
I know. They're going to change the world, our kids, for a better way. Okay, My Home Sold. This weather report is sponsored by My Home Sold. And so as we take a look at the nation right now, cold temperatures, we've got lake effect snow. I think the coldest temperatures of the season will be again today. today through parts of the upper Midwest. 14 degrees in Minneapolis, but when you factor in the wind chill out in Detroit as well, it's going to feel more like below zero. 22 in New York City, 30 in Washington today in D.C., 66 in Tampa, 66 in Houston, to our 77 here in downtown L.A. We've got an area of high pressure today, but it is weakening. Watch this upper level or cut off low pressure system that's going to move very close to us. It's a weak one, not very strong, so it's going to give us a chance for some very light showers as it moves through Thursday, Friday. And I wish I could say that it's going to bring us some snow, but it's just picking up some of that moisture from the southwest. So snow level is going to stay pretty high. I was thinking maybe the 28th, 29th, we were going to get some rain, but looking at this model, it does dissipate here. But I think further on the calendar, maybe the last day of the month into the 1st of February, this system could bring us more widespread rain, mountain snow, not just for the Sierra Nevada, but maybe for us as well. So hopefully that will be a major, major pattern shift as we get into the end of the month and the 1st of February. In the meantime, this little system for Thursday, Friday, maybe a 1/10 of an inch or so, a little bit more in Burbank. Less than a 1/4 of an inch, though, for a lot of areas, as you can see here. Less than a 1/10 as well in Santa Ana, and then a little bit less in San Bernardino with that 3/100th of an inch of rain. So it's more kind of a nuisance rain as we're expecting Thursday into Friday. If you're headed to the beach today, still going to be dry. Ventura County beaches 3 to 5 feet. LA County 2 to 4. 1 to 3 Orange County, and San Diego similar conditions. So just watch that rip current risk a little higher as you get farther north. 77 for downtown LA today. Cooling will continue tomorrow. A really big difference to that 70 degrees, and then 64 on Friday with that 20 to 10% chance for some scattered light showers, pop-up showers. 79 for the valleys today. Plenty of sunshine. The clouds will come in tomorrow, and then Thursday into Friday, that chance for light showers. The mountains, 58 degrees. A lot of sunshine in Big Bear today, down to just 47 by the end of the week. In the weekend, high desert 66 degrees, and even in the Coachella Valley, there's a slight chance for some sprinkles, but mainly clouds, really. 79, though, today in Palm Springs, down to just 72 on Friday. All right, let's do some TV shout-outs before you walk out the door. We've got some cute, let's see, shout-out. There's a birthday here for Mackenzie. Aw, happy 9th birthday to you, cutie pie. Your mom and dad, Jason and Pearl, love you so much, and they sent us that photo. And then a big birthday here for Ryder. We love you, so proud of you. It says Yama and Papa. Good looking. Did you go to your prom or social? That's a nice picture of you in your tuxedo. Keep those pictures coming. All you have to do is email them to us. tvshoutouts@fox.com. tvshoutouts@fox.com. Make sure you attach the photo.
All right. Thank you, Maria. So still ahead, the smell of fresh tortillas will soon be taking over our studio. The founder of Home States will be joining us live with her handmade tortillas and details on their brand new location. Also, we are 20 days into the new year, so be honest. Have you already fallen off track with your New Year's resolutions? Don't worry. We're going to have some simple ways and tips to refresh your routine and reset for the year ahead. Happy 2026. Do we still say Happy New Year? It's the 20th. Do we still say Happy New Year, Saul? Sure. Welcome to Good Day LA on this Tuesday, January 20th. It's 8 o'clock. I'm Jen Lammers.
Back to work for a lot of folks out there. Thanks for being with us. I'm Bob DeCastro. And here are some of the stories we'll be covering this morning. Gigi.
A 20-year-old facing vehicular manslaughter charges along with being booked on suspicion of driving under the influence for a crash that killed one of his passengers.
The markets rattled this morning. We'll have more on tariff fears that sent the Dow Jones tumbling.
And students rolling up their sleeves, helping rebuild a home destroyed in the Eaton fire. We'll be live in Altadena with the latest on the rebuilding efforts. First, though, let's get over to Maria for a check on our forecast. We are cooling things down.
Yep, a little bit each day as we get to the end of this week. Right now, we're still looking at that wind out of the east and northeast, so still that slight offshore flow, and that will help to keep our skies mostly sunny today and temperatures above average, although down a few degrees from yesterday. 54 currently in Pasadena and in Ontario, 48 in San Bernardino, 21 in Big Bear, 53 in Santa Ana, 51 in Long Beach, 59 in Palm Springs. Highs, though, later this afternoon, we'll get to around 79 in Palm Springs in the low desert. 66 in the high desert areas like the Antelope Valley, 58 in the mountains. Still some breezes through the canyons and passes, but below advisory criteria. 77 for downtown LA, still above that average of 68, upper 60s along our coast. We'll talk more about the chance for some showers for us coming up later this week in my complete forecast. But first, let's head up to Justin O'Brien up at Sky Fox. He's over some breaking news right now. Justin, what's going on?
Yes, hi again, Maria. Looking down here, it's LAPD in action. We're out in the El Sereno area, just near the LA City College. We understand that undercover officers were following what they're referring to as a 211 suspect. That's a robbery suspect in a white vehicle here. I'll just tell it down here. You can see that white vehicle. They pulled this vehicle over just over a moment ago. This is Valley Boulevard at Del Paso. And again, they're taking 3 people into custody here. One of those people, allegedly a robbery suspect. Reporting live above El Sereno. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Justin, thank you. We have breaking news now. In Fullerton, 2 people needed medical care after a fire broke out this morning, destroying 3 mobile homes. The extent of their injuries is not clear. Firefighters got the call just before 5 o'clock this morning. It all happened on the 1800 block of West Orangethorpe Avenue near Brookhurst. 3 units caught on fire, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Back to the story out of Woodland Hills. A driver faces criminal charges after a deadly crash.
Let's go out to Gigi Graciette now for more. Good morning.
Good morning. We're going to start off with the commute part of this story. Valley Circle is part of your morning commute. North and southbound lanes have now reopened, but you can see LAPD motorcycle units still standing by because the Department of Street Services has to come by and clean up some of those tree limbs that were knocked down in this crash. But again, traffic on Valley Circle, it was shut down between Victory and Valerie for hours, has now reopened and traffic is flowing. Let's get to the story. 1:30 this morning. Police say 3 men in their 20s were driving up Valley Circle when the driver lost control of a blue Ford Mustang, slamming straight into a tree. The driver managed to get out of the car with minor injuries. The passenger in the back seat, another man in his 20s, was unhurt, but unfortunately, sadly, the male passenger in the front seat was killed instantly. There was nothing that paramedics and firefighters could do. Now, a lot of folks in the neighborhood heard the crash. One man saw that the car was actually on fire, grabbed his fire extinguishers, helped put that part of the fire out before firefighters arrived, while another man says he rushed out and tried to help that victim that was trapped inside the car, but sadly, there was nothing he could do for him.
And it seemed like they either slammed on the brakes or they started slipping, and all I heard was just a loud noise. And I came outside and I heard 2 of the kids screaming, "Help, help." So I went right outside to see what was going on, and I saw the kid pretty much was stuck on the passenger side.
And unfortunately, that young man did pass away. The driver was taken to the hospital to be checked out, we're told, for minor injuries. He should be being booked right about now at LAPD Van Nuys Station. Police telling me he is going to be booked on both vehicular manslaughter charges and suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol. As one officer told me, this did not have to happen. Again, traffic on Valley Circle here through Woodland Hills has reopened. Your morning commute will not be affected. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi. Sad story. Thank you. Meantime, another day of decisions for the Supreme Court. Many people thought the court would finally rule on the cornerstone of the Trump administration's economic agenda, of course, the tariffs.
But the largely conservative court did not issue a decision on whether the global tariffs imposed by the president are legal. Sandra is here to explain some of this. Sandra.
That's right, and everyone's waiting for the much anticipated ruling, which would severely impact a key initiative of the Trump administration. The Supreme Court, though, did not make a ruling today, but at issue, what we're talking about here, whether or not the president exceeded his authority when imposing the sweeping tariffs last year. Two lower courts have already found the president did not have the authority to impose those global tariffs. President Trump argued he can use his emergency powers to impose them and bypass congressional approval. Now, if the Supreme Court throws out the tariffs altogether, it could force the president to send refunds to the U.S. importers that paid them. Now, taking a look at the stock market right now, it is plummeting this morning, down 575 points. This is after the holiday break yesterday. And over the weekend, the Trump administration reignited trade wars with European countries over his effort to take over Greenland. So what you're seeing right now is reaction, and the president saying 8 NATO countries could face an extra 10% in import duties unless the U.S. gets a deal on the purchase of the Danish territory. So as for the tariffs, though, any outcome the Supreme Court makes will shape the use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That policy going forward will be reshaped by this, and if the court limits IEEPA authority, the White House could still use other ways to raise import taxes. So it's not over yet. Now, if the court rules against the Trump tariffs, paying back the money will take years to sort out. So it's going to get messy before it gets any definitive answer. Right, Jen and Bob?
For sure. All right, Sandra, thank you. So happening today, the trial is expected to begin in downtown L.A. for former Dodger Yasiel Puig. He's facing federal charges for allegedly lying to investigators about sports betting. Puig is charged with obstruction of justice and 2 counts of making false statements to federal investigators. Puig no longer plays professionally in the United States. He spent 6 seasons with the Dodgers. Prosecutors say between July and September of 2019, he placed 899 bets on tennis, football, and basketball games. Puig is denying those allegations.
Police move in to break up a skirmish and a large crowd following a stabbing that occurred at the end of the MLK Day parade in the Lamert Park area. Police say the stabbing occurred shortly before 2 yesterday afternoon near McClung Drive and Stalker Street, where a large group was present. The crowd started surging into the street, prompting LAPD to set up skirmish lines and then move in its tactical squad. Some in the crowd started throwing bottles and other things at police that injured 3 officers. The crowd was eventually dispersed. Mayor Karen Bass condemned the violence.
3 people walk away from an accident involving a Waymo driverless taxi and a rental SUV in Westchester. The accident happened near LAX last night at the intersection of Centinela Avenue and Alford Street. The driverless Waymo taxi had a passenger, and the SUV reportedly had just been rented by 2 people at LAX. Police are looking into who was at fault.
Students are volunteering to help with the San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity to rebuild a home destroyed by the Eaton fire.
Mario Ramirez is live in Altadena now with that story. Good morning.
Jen, Bob, good morning. That's right. As you know, it's been just over a year since the Eden fire tore through Altadena, destroying thousands of homes. And look at this. What is happening today, it is quite the sight to see. We're looking at students from Los Angeles Trade Tech College. They're out here helping, or at least they're getting started, helping to rebuild this home here. Now, this is part of a Build Day effort led by the Los Angeles Community College District, partnering with the San Gabriel Habitat for Humanity. And what makes this moment especially powerful, some of the faculty and staff that'll be volunteering today impacted by the fires themselves, just like thousands of students across the district. I want to bring in Dr. William Sims. He's the VP of Student Services at West LA College. Thanks for joining us out here this morning. What type of work are we going to be seeing that these students have learned throughout the programs that they've been in?
Well, today students are helping frame this house, and so that means really the core elements of what it takes to have a home are being installed. You see the foundation is laid. They're filling in gaps of the foundation now to make sure that but it's solid. And it's just an amazing day as a person who is from Altadena to be able to contribute in this way and help our community rebuild. It's an empowering event.
Yeah, and you just mentioned you're from Altadena, you're contributing. You yourself have been impacted by the fire. Tell me about that.
Yes, so I am one of many who come from a multi-generational home. So living with my parents and my children also, living in Altadena, born and raised here, and on the night of January 7th, our home went up in flames, and we've been displaced for the better part of the year. So today, being able to come back and stand in the gap for families like mine, it feels like we're making a change and helping turn things around.
Yeah, I love that. And this really is about education and community coming together, basically turning skills into service, right?
Well, it's amazing. You think about in LACCD, thousands of our students were impacted and dozens of our employees. And you ask yourself, why would people who live in Altadena area come? Well, it's the specialized programs that LACCD offers, particularly the skilled trades program at LA Trade Tech, where you see students today, some of whom are Altadena residents also. And so it really is a way for people to be empowered and find opportunity for career that is sustainable.
Thank you, Dr. Sims. Appreciate you joining us out here this morning. So we'd love to see the rebuilding effort here in Altadena. A little later this morning, we're going to hear from the homeowner here, 90-year-old woman. For now, that's the latest here in Altadena. I'm Mario Ramirez.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, helping inside the community. What a difference. That is something to be proud of for sure. Thank you, Mario. Okay, still ahead, a possible miracle pill for sleep apnea may be on the way. We'll tell you how it all works.
Also, something no one saw coming, LA County's oldest restaurant back open. We'll have more on the Saugus Cafe when we come back.
Our top stories this morning, former Lakers superstar Lamar Odom was arrested in Las Vegas and charged with DUI. The 46-year-old was arrested early Saturday morning for allegedly driving more than 41 miles per hour over the speed limit. He's set to appear in Nevada courts on March 17th.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will attend tomorrow's Supreme Court argument over President Trump's attempt to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. The president claims Cook committed mortgage fraud, which she denies. This comes months after mounting tensions between the White House and the central bank.
In Seal Beach, people can expect to see a lot more military and police activity around the Naval Weapons Station over the next few weeks. The base personnel will be taking part in a nationwide security drill called Citadel Shield Solid Curtain 2026. The drill starts today and runs through February 9th. It is intended to test the weapons station's ability to work with the local community and first responders.
Big news in Santa Clarita. Just days after a historic restaurant closed down, it is back open. The iconic Saugus Cafe opened its doors again yesterday. It was rebranded under a new name, the Saugus Restaurant. 2 weeks ago, after serving the area for more than 140 years and serving famous customers like Clark Gable and Frank Sinatra, inexplicably, the Saugus Cafe shut its doors. It reopened yesterday under new management.
Our regulars showed out to support us, so that was very nice to see.
Did you enjoy your meal today?
Yes, I did.
And the service?
Yes, the service was good. Excellent.
It's diner food, but it's good diner food. The coffee is great, and the people are great. I get to flirt with the waitresses.
Many of the old employees were rehired, and some of those old customers came back. In addition to the famous breakfast meals, customers will now be able to order some Mexican dishes.
You love the regulars, right?
That's right.
You know, forget the Super Bowl. There's something else you can bet on. You don't even have to know anything about sports. Officials in Big Bear are holding a contest. All you have to do is pick the date that you'll think they'll get 6 or more inches of snow. It's called the Guess the Next Big Bear Snowfall Contest.
Oh.
Go to bigbear.com and click on events. There's going to be a form to fill out. All you have to do is enter the date you think the natural snow will accumulate at least 6 inches within 24 hours. The winner gets 4 snow tubing passes to Big Bear Snow Play, plus a $250 lodging gift certificate. Not too shabby. They want snow so bad there.
Right. Now they're making a contest for it.
I know. They're praying to the betting gods that it's going to happen.
So do you think I would be disqualified?
You're a Farmer's Almanac person.
I know, but do you think I would be disqualified if I put in, you know, my
Well, I
date?
think that, yeah.
Listen.
Right?
Because I have
You have the advantage.
my magic crystal ball called, you know, the computer models. And I'm telling you, I think the date that I would pick right now, if I had to pick a date, would be February 2nd.
Oh.
So
really?
We'll wait and see. There's a storm that's brewing. I can show it to you on the models.
Okay.
But we do have
All right.
a little storm.
Well, listen, you're giving tips to our viewers here.
You know,
so,
if they wanted to put in a date, yeah.
Is that a violation? What is that? Is that tampering with betting?
It's not inside information.
Insider trading? Like what?
I don't think it's insider trading, you know. Just some insider info tips from Maria. Today, we are anticipating the next storm system to move a little close to us, but I don't think it'll bring us any snow. Maybe some light showers, and it's a 20% chance at this point at Big Bear Lake for some light precipitation. And I'm not talking about snow. I'm talking about light rain. So here's that cutoff area of low pressure. See how it's kind of moving a little bit farther south, so kind of picking up that moisture from the southwest. So that's going to keep the snow level up kind of high, between 7,000 feet, maybe 6,500. So we're not going to really see much in the way of snow, and just rain in general, a 10 to 20% chance. That's it. Thursday, Friday, and maybe some lingering moisture on Saturday. So more of a nuisance rain we're expecting here. We could use a little bit more rain, right? It's been a while since we've seen rain. It was really just the first 4 days of January when we saw that rain, which was good. It helped to really mitigate our fire danger. Today, 77 degrees for downtown. This is a couple degrees cooler than yesterday. Around 80 in Indio if you're headed there. Laguna Beach, we've got some patchy clouds getting into those mid-60s later this afternoon. Thousand Oaks out in Ventura County, we will have some sunshine this afternoon, 76 to 77 between 12 and 1 p.m. And then just a quick look at Big Bear's high today, which, by the way, started out in the teens this morning. And they're making lots of snow, so that's a good thing. At least that's a little bit more, well, they can control it, make the runs really nice. So you can head up to Big Bear, Snow Summit, Bear Mountain, get your snow fun in, even Snow Valley. 55 degrees later at 2 p.m. All right, let's check in on traffic now. We've got Samada with her own crystal magic ball. You can see the future too, SK.
I'm going to try, and I can see your future. If these routes are part of your commute, you want to make sure you give yourself extra time. Unfortunately, we do have a fatality-involved collision here. Sigler's still in place until further notice. Eastbound side of the 210 right there at the 215. Vehicle struck a big rig, and we've got speeds down to 7 miles per hour. And we also have this crash in Orange County through Fountain Valley. 3 vehicles collided here, taking a lane. Emergency crews are headed to the scene, South 405 at MacArthur Boulevard. And look at the backup. It continues to build. And a problem spot not too further south, South 405 at Jamboree Road through Irvine. We have 2 vehicles that collide there, taking away the fast lane. Here's a much better roadway through downtown. Looks really good there. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Look, it's Las Vegas.
Oh, never mind.
Maybe not. It's sit and sleep. Sit and sleep.
Sit and sleep?
That's a sit and sleep guy?
Is it?
Yeah. I'll give you it for free. The mattress is...
Oh, okay, so hey, how about this? The LA Clippers are giving out thousands of free all-star basketball hoops and Clippers-branded basketballs to people with a passion for the game. All you have to do is log on to clippers.com/hoops and share your story for why access to a hoop matters, who will use it, and how basketball has made an impact in your life or your community. Over 5,500 brand new hoops or backboards will be delivered all throughout LA to lucky winners chosen based off the strength and authenticity of their story. The giveaway is open to anybody 18 and older who lives within 150 miles of Inglewood.
And the Rams are getting ready for the NFC Championship game in Seattle against the Seahawks. That comes after that thrilling and chilling overtime win in the freezing cold of Chicago. This Sunday, the forecast is calling for highs in the low 40s in Seattle. Oddmakers have the Seahawks as a 3-point favorite. This Sunday, you can see the Rams take on the Seattle Seahawks and win the NFC Championship. Right here on Fox 11. Kickoff is at 3:30.
You know what they did, what I read that the Rams did during their game with the Bears to keep warm? They put cayenne pepper in their socks.
Oh, does that work? Maybe.
They said it helped, boost their heart rate. Their attention was still on, and
try that.
They weren't slowing down, that's for sure. So Los Angeles is officially the best city in the U.S. for women's sports. A new study ranked L.A. #1, citing strong fan support, elite college programs, and thriving pro teams like the Sparks. The city also leads in youth participation and media visibility, creating a powerhouse ecosystem for women's sports. With packed stadiums and rising stars, LA is not just keeping up, it's setting the standard, rather, for the future of women's sports. There are also a number of women's sports bars.
More and more popular. Yeah. A pill for sleep apnea may soon be a reality. A Massachusetts-based biotech company is seeking FDA approval for the first ever medication to treat the condition. The nightly pill works by keeping throat muscles active during sleep, offering an alternative to the widely disliked CPAP machines. If approved, the drug could hit the market by 2027, potentially transforming treatment for millions and addressing serious health risks linked to untreated sleep apnea. Sleep apnea affects 80 million Americans.
And it can lead to so many other health problems long term. Okay, so still ahead, Coco is checking out a new exhibit at the Grammy Museum.
Good morning. A new exhibit that is so special, especially if you're a Selena fan. It is called Grammy Museum Presents Selena from Texas to the World. We'll take you here live coming up.
just dedicate this next half hour to discuss the Beckham story?
I have no problem
love to
doing
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
And there's this red carpet.
Shower producer, please don't.
Very uncomfortable.
Oh my
All the memes that are coming out now.
Lord, all the We've been looking at them.
I just want to give a shout out to my own mother-in-law, Patricia Ann. She is so classy and amazing.
Oh, Patricia Ann.
She's the best mother-in-law. Never says anything about her son's wives.
What a
or
sweetheart.
Only nice things. Only
Classy
the best.
lady.
That's rare.
So she's my example, you know. And when I look at my son and his wife,
Right.
and it's just, you know.
Well, she's doing it, you know, you got to let them go. You have to
Gotta
let them be adults.
You do.
I call my mother-in-law though, and
That's nice.
and she goes, "Hello." She's not used to. She's a text, and I go, "Hi, Mom. On my way home from work." What's
That's
up?"
really sweet.
That's
Try,
sweet.
you know.
Yeah.
She doesn't really call me, but it's okay.
Good daughter.
She doesn't want to be a
She
bother.
doesn't want to bother me. Midwest.
That's exactly what that is.
Hi, Patty Ann. I know she's watching.
Patty Ann.
Okay, so let's talk about our weather coming up today because it is going to be warm-ish still. We've got the offshore flow, one more day of this, and then some real noticeable changes tomorrow as we look for some clouds and anticipate the arrival of this weak system that I'm watching. It's really just bringing a 10 to 20% chance for some showers Thursday, Friday, and then it'll dry out just in time for the weekend into early next week. I think it's going to be the following weekend or the beginning of February when we're looking at a more potent storm. I thought it was going to be around the 28th, but the models just keep coming back, and I don't know, Mother Nature's got different plans. So for now, we're going to try to break this streak here of more than a week of above average high temperatures as we get into Thursday and Friday and Saturday. But we had some days of rain, 4 days, right, for this beginning of this month, and that's in addition to all the rain we received since the season began October 1st. So we actually have a lot of moisture in our vegetation, helping to lower fire danger. Our surplus right now, with all the rain that we received, over 8 inches above normal, and there's a chance we could add maybe 1/10 of an inch as we get into Thursday and Friday. So we'll wait and see if that actually materializes. Otherwise, 77 today, very nice sunset time at 5:12 later this afternoon. All right, let's head back over to Samara, get another look at our traffic conditions out there on this back to work, back to school Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, back to problems. We do have a couple of accidents to address, and unfortunately, this one, a fatality-involved collision, eastbound side of the 210 at the 215, vehicle versus a big rig, and it does continue to be shut down. We've got speeds down to 8 miles per hour, and that SIG alert does continue. And we also have this issue in Orange County, which is slowly clearing up. 3 vehicles collide there, southbound side of the 405 at MacArthur Boulevard. Hopefully, they'll get that cleaned out. It is off to the right shoulder. You can see here the delays continue in that portion. Here's a look at the 10 at Mount Vernon. Both directions on this Tuesday morning, at least there, looking pretty smooth. Back to you two.
Hi, Samada. Thank you. Developing this morning, could President Trump's push for U.S. control of Greenland ignite a larger trade war with Europe?
The European Union is set to hold an emergency meeting in the coming days to discuss the president's threats to impose a 10% tariff on countries that don't support a U.S. acquisition of Greenland. French President Emmanuel Macron is calling for the EU to activate its anti-coercion instrument, also called the trade bazooka, that could see American companies and banks blocked from doing business in Europe and impact intellectual property agreements between the U.S. and Europe.
Meanwhile, President Trump is threatening 200% tariffs on French wine. This all comes after Macron reportedly declined to join a global peace board on Gaza. The Board of Peace is a global body endorsed by the United Nations Security Council in November of last year, established to oversee the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Macron has not commented on the threat.
Many people rely on ChatGPT on their phone for just about everything. But this year, its parent company, OpenAI, says their brand new device is making its way to consumers. An executive told Axios that the first ever OpenAI device is on track for a release in the second half of this year.
What does that mean? What AI device?
I don't know. So CEO Sam Altman has teased the device in the past, calling it more peaceful than the smartphone. Other reports suggest OpenAI is developing tech with no screen that's possibly wearable, meant to interact with users. When asked the specifics about this, the OpenAI executive wouldn't confirm whether it would be a pin, an earpiece, or something entirely different. We just have to wait and see.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, like maybe you wear like some kind of a pendant or something like that, that would just like do everything for you, like, and you just say
that you're always mic'd and
call my mother-in-law or whatever, you know what I mean?
Like a dictating, like dictate.
Yeah, or translate things for you, or.
But then you'd have to have the earpiece to hear what its response was, unless there's a speaker.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Talk a little louder into the pin.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Hate to broach the subject.
Yeah, hey.
Ooh, I don't know how I like that, but you know what I do like? I like some entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Hey now, hey now. Okay, I have your attention. Well, you have heard of the 10-year trend, but hold the microphone because 2015 has entered the chat with Hilary Duff performing this hit. Take me back. I love it. Yes, What Dreams Are Made Of was performed live for the first time in concert since 2015. The performance comes ahead of the release of Duff's upcoming album, Luck or Something, that will be released in February. You know, from mommy group to Lizzie McGuire groupies, 2026 is the year of Hilary Duff thus far. She's 38 and doing great. You didn't think that Hilary Duff was about our age, huh?
I did not.
Thought she was one of those.
I thought she was, yeah.
Because of the Lizzie
really
McGuire.
young. I know.
And the Limited 2 generation and the Hannah Montanas.
The Hannah Montana of it all.
No, she's one of us, Jen. She's a millennial.
Well, thank God.
Who's one of us? Hilary Duff's one of us. Who is up on the latest trends? Who spends way too much time on TikTok? Yeah, he's pointing. We do, Jen and I apparently, because we cannot escape the viral owl impersonation trend. And I will show you this video. Neither can the stars.
Hi, my name is Nick, and this is my impression of an owl, but it's Joe Jonas. Who out there has a sign tonight? Thank you. My name is Joe, and this is my impression of a Nick Jonas owl.
Oh, those are the Jonas brothers getting in on the owl trend. But you know what? Stars, they're just like us, literally, because Jen, Bob, and I did one too.
Who?
Who? Can you hear me? Can you? Who? What was that? What?
I don't know what that was.
Well, now I didn't get it before.
It's,
like, what were we doing?
Also
but now
said
I get it a little bit now that I've actually
it's the hardest trend to explain.
It's the hardest trend to explain. But basically, like if Jennifer Coolidge was an owl, who?
Right.
You know,
or if Al Pacino were an owl.
Yeah, exactly. Robert De Niro.
Got it.
Who? You know, like that's what you have to do. So who can you do a celebrity impersonation of?
Nobody. Let's see.
Do Maria as an owl. Anywho.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
We should do each other. Let's do an impression of our producer as an owl. Who wants to just go to the poll? Right? Here we go. We asked you, what's your go-to pick-me-up? Hey.
Jasmine.
Coffee.
Coffee for the win. It's always coffee. That good old standby, right?
Yeah. Go to foxlay.com/vote to let us know.
Iced or hot?
Right.
Yeah.
Who better than to talk about Selena and the new pop-up exhibit at the Grammy Museum than
Coco McAvoy. Good morning.
And who loves Selena? I do. I was loving your Who thing, so I was like, I gotta continue the Who. But this exhibit is truly so special. It is at the Grammy Museum. It is called Grammy Museum Presents Selena from Texas to the World. And that really is what it is. I'm standing in front of a fan wall, and the thing that's so cool about it is you can write a personal message to her and leave it here, and the Grammy Museum keeps all of the messages. You've also got this great video wall that shows home videos and live performances. I am here with Kelsey Gels now, the museum curator, and if you can just tell us about how special this exhibit really is.
This has been so special. Again, we're having these artifacts here for the first time from Corpus Christi, and to work directly with Selena's family, it is just something for the fans to see, especially if you've loved Selena your whole life. you can still learn something new about her here.
Yes, I've been learning something new as I've been checking this out. If you can tell us about this beautiful outfit for starters.
Yes, behind me we have this red on red on red outfit. She wore this performing after one of her fashion shows. She was also a fashion designer. And again, with timeless silhouette, I think this is a trend that is coming back over and over and over again. It's something she really perfected with the beaded bra and the high-waisted pant. And I really love this one because it's just all one color.
It is, and she pulled it off so well. You can see in the pictures there too. But you've also got this fan mail section.
Yes, so after Selena passed away in 1995, the family in Texas started receiving mail from all over the world. So you can see all different languages and characters here. And really, it was just an outpouring of love for the family, and that really inspired them to open their doors and start showing some of these pieces.
Yes. The microphone. We have to talk about the microphone.
We have to. This, I think, is the most special piece in the whole exhibit.
Yeah.
So when Selena would perform, her lips would touch her microphone, and lipstick, classic red lip, would get all over it. Usually herself or her production team would wipe it off with a toothbrush.
Yeah.
But luckily, they did not do that after one of her final performances, so we're able to see the red lipstick all over that microphone. And the mic stand that she actually used also is adorned with a white rose, which was her favorite flower.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Kelsey, for bringing us into this really cool exhibit. And that's what's so great about it, is it's so intimate. You really get to learn more about her, learn more about her family as well. It's open until March 16th. I'll send it back to you.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. All right, Coco, thank you.
Well, firefighters, we know they put their lives on the line. Every time they go into work, they face danger in many forms, including hazardous cancer-causing materials.
And before last month, if a firefighter died of cancer, the families were not only devastated emotionally, but financially as well. Selena Cervantes lost her husband, Miguel, a firefighter at the Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, to cancer almost 3 years ago. On the job for 22 years, the veteran's death, while horrible, was not considered death in the line of duty, which meant his family received no death benefits.
This did not sit well with many, and a push was made to drum up support for honoring the Honoring Our Fallen Heroes Act, which would classify exposure to cancer-causing chemicals as line of duty. Selena was one who helped lead that charge, and last month it was signed into law. She's here now to talk more about how this all played out. Thank you for being here this morning, Selena. And first, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me how this all came to be, because while you suffered your own loss, then you had to find yourself in this position to maybe fight for others who've been through similar experience.
And I did. I didn't realize how much of a fight it was going to be until it was brought to me. Lived in kind of a blur for a couple of years. I'm still kind of starting to see things clearly, but I knew that I had to continue my husband's legacy of helping others. So I heard about the group that was going to D.C., and I asked, how can I join? And so me and the kids flew to D.C. and talked to anybody that we could, and to talk about our number one is easy.
It must have been surprising to you that when your husband died, that, oh my gosh, they're not going to give us these death benefits. And for you, it must have been pretty clear that some of the illnesses and the ailments that he had was a result of his work on the job.
It was. And so, you know, being a fire wife for a while, you always knew that it was a risk. I didn't think that it was going to be a risk that was going to ultimately take his life. But I knew that there's many others that are in worse situations and that are still fighting. So my husband's department helped so much by guiding me and supporting me through everything. But now it's my turn. How can I fight to help others to make sure that if they're in the same situation, it's a little bit easier road to travel.
I remember a week after the Palisades fire broke out, I talked to some of the firefighters, specifically in Fountain Valley, and they were telling me as they were standing in front of these burning homes, they were thinking to themselves, how many years off my life is this taking?
Yes, there's a lot that's changed over the years. So now a lot more has been known, and hopefully just one cancer case will change somebody else's department, their procedures, try to make things a little bit easier, so that way those firefighters always get to go home to their families.
So this is a brand new federal law signed by the Trump administration, bipartisan support for this law, so congrats on that. So people at home who have firefighting families, what do they need to know about this, just in case something should happen to them? What do they need to know?
So I think they need to know, like, hopefully their department is learning all of the the policies that are going to be coming through to be able to help those families, and then looking to see what cancers are there. And I know there's a large group of spouses that help push this through. I know they're going to continue working to get it expanded to cover more cancers, to make sure that, you know, we're honoring them still, that their loss isn't taken for granted and they're not forgotten.
What has this support meant to you and your family?
Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of support from my husband's department, who's been there since day one. They made a promise to him, and they're keeping that promise. The many spouses that I've met while on this awful journey have been a backbone and a support that I never knew I needed. And just foundations around the world, all the contributors, people that just make sure that my husband is viewed as a hero the way my kids and I view him.
So for you and for other, you know, this benefits other families out there who may find themselves in the same situation. Now that this is a law, retroactively, will you be able to get those benefits that you've been fighting for?
I'm told, yes, I will be able to get the benefits. My kids will be able to get education benefits, be able to make their dad proud, do something that he always wanted them to do, and hopefully just lift a burden off of our shoulders.
How old are your children?
They're 16, 14, and 12.
Wow. And how were they with you through, you know, when you went to the Capitol and you were fighting?
I told them it's going to be long days, but I promise you we'll reward you at the end. We got to go to some cool exhibits and, you know, just get to go through parts of the Capitol that most people don't get to. And now they have those pictures to be able to say that they sat with our two senators. They had conversations. I go, you guys, Daddy's still giving us opportunities. Let's take them and just carry them.
We only have about 30 seconds, but tell us about your husband and how's your family doing now?
My husband's incredible. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I don't know what this road's supposed to look like, but we're putting one foot in front of the other, and our goal every day is to make sure that we're doing something to make Daddy proud. And so that's what gets us through.
Beautiful story.
You are making him proud.
You are.
I hope so, yes.
Hey, your husband's not the only hero in the family. Right? It's true. Thank you.
Thank you, Selena.
For everything. We have a lot more coming up on Good Day LA. But first, let's get over to Samada for a check on traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is sponsored by the offices of Jacob and Ronnie. Call jacob.com. We have your ride through the downtown LA area. It is Tuesday following a long holiday, and things are back to normal. We've got a really slow drive leaving downtown to get to the west side. It's going to take you a little bit over an hour, and just under an hour westbound 60 from 57 inbound to downtown, so give yourself a lot of extra time. And unfortunately, we did have this overnight crash. A vehicle struck a semi, and it became, unfortunately, a fatality. Eastbound 210 at the 215. We do have the middle lane closed down and speeds down to about 11 miles per hour. Signal alert still in effect, and the backup, here's a live Caltrans camera of that route, and it continues to be a really tough drive there. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
you're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
Call Jacob.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quilbon. This weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. What a beautiful shot here. Once again, another day of blue skies, sunshine. We still have an area of high pressure that's in control of our weather. So kind of a warm-ish day as this high continues to dominate. However, this cutoff low is going to start to move in today into tomorrow and then give us clouds, chances for showers as that low moves close enough to bring us a little bit of instability. At this point, it's a 10 to 20% chance for some very light showers. So if we get any at all, it will be light in nature, a 1/10 of an inch or so. That's about it if we get any. 3 to 5 foot sets if you're headed to the beach today for Ventura County beaches, LA County 2 to 4, Orange County, San Diego 1 to 3 to 1 to 4 feet. Just be careful. There is a moderate to high risk for rip currents the farther north you go. 77 degrees expected for downtown LA today, down to just 64 on Friday. The chance for showers about 20% on Thursday, down to 10% Friday, and maybe overnight into early Saturday morning. But generally, I think the weekend looks pretty good. 79 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, lots of sunshine, and then down to around 66 on Friday. The mountains in the teens in the morning, so making lots of snow for our local resorts. Lots of sunshine, though, in the afternoon today with 58 degrees. High desert, 66 degrees, and even there, that 10% chance for some showers on Thursday. The Coachella Valley, if you're headed to Palm Springs today, 79 with just a few clouds. Teeny tiny chance for some showers Thursday into Friday. There's my weather for now. Back to you.
Love a Taco Tuesday. Back in 2000, when Brianna Breezy Valdez moved to LA from Austin, Texas, she had a hard time finding tortillas and queso that would cure her homesickness. She was on a mission to share her Texas favorites throughout Southern California. So she created Home State so she wouldn't be homesick. And now she's here with us in the Good Day Cafe. Breezy.
Hi.
You are, let me tell you something. I love that I meet you and you're already rolling tortillas. You're all about being hands-on.
I'm all about the flour tortilla, that's for sure.
This is the great debate, though, right? Like, who has the better Mexican food? Is it Texas? Is it LA? It can be both, we're learning.
I think it is both, yeah. We just want to bring a little love for Texas, and my goal is to share the story of not just Texas, but my family growing up. My grandmother hand-rolled tortillas. That's an homage to her.
Yes.
And all of those sweet memories.
All the sweet, savory, delicious memories.
Savory, yeah.
Tell me about some of the delicious go-tos with Home State.
So that has a nice
Ooh, that's a kick and a half.
Yeah.
And you don't just walk the walk, you guac the guac as well. Tell me about this fresh guac.
We do make it fresh. I mean, we're making it all throughout the day. So anytime you come in, you've had, you made it this morning. So yeah, anytime you're coming in, you're getting a guac that was just made with fresh avocados, of course, and some tomatoes, onions, salt and pepper, and some lime juice for a little bit of a tang.
That is delicious guacamole. You need something to wash it down with, but you also are hands-on when it comes to music. Tell me about how you partner with some big names for a big cause.
So back in 2015, we launched a program called the Band Taco program.
The Band Taco.
And it was a way for us to reach our communities and to give back. And so we have partnered with 25 artists so far, some well-known artists like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Questlove, happy birthday. It's a birthday today. And, you know, Fred Armisen is an artist who's done one, who's a great supporter of Home State. So it's a really amazing program. It's raised over $500,000 for our community. So we're so happy about that.
That is great. Music, the mood, the food, it's all here. You don't just walk the walk, you talk the taco, you guac the guac, you guac and roll, and all the things in between. We got to get back to work here. We're rolling tortillas. She's putting me to work, ladies. You can check out Home State online at myhomestate.com. Thank you for bringing a little Tejas
and
to
some
the
margaritas,
table.
don't forget.
And some margaritas and palomas to the table. Ladies, paloma or margarita, what's your fancy?
Paloma for me, please.
Margarita.
Spicy paloma. That's
one of each, actually. All right, get rolling, Amanda.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
The LA Rams played an incredible game against the Chicago Bears, and some players had one specific food to thank for their performance. Speaking of food, we're going to tell you what it was.
Plus, you think it gets cold in Chicago? Take a look at this scene in Russia. Why residents are calling this a snow apocalypse.
Oh.
Look at that.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm on break. So good, that guacamole. morning and welcome to 9 a.m. Welcome back, Sandra.
Oh, thank you.
Nice
Took
long
a day
weekend.
off.
Yeah, it was nice. We've got a lot of stories we're looking at for you, beginning with this. A man in his 20s facing vehicular manslaughter charges after he actually loses control of the car, ends up killing his friend, a passenger in that vehicle. Details on the active investigation.
Plus, a fight breaks out at the end of the parade in Leimert Park, how officers responded to the scene.
And it's not over. Netflix now revising its bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Why this move proves cash is king. First, though, got to talk about that weather. Feeling the change out there.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Just a little bit of that sea breeze really starting to kick in, and that's going to bring our temperatures down a couple degrees today, more so tomorrow and Thursday. We've got some patchy clouds outside. Otherwise, we have some mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will warm up. It was a little cool earlier this morning. It's up to 30 degrees now, actually, in Big Bear. 60 degrees in Burbank. Out towards Santa Ana, 59. Corona the same. 60 in Riverside to that 67 in Palm Springs. High temperatures this afternoon will still be above normal, nearing 80 for the low desert areas in the Coachella Valley and Palm Springs, 66 in the high desert, to eventually 58 in Big Bear with plenty of sunshine. Downtown LA, 77 degrees. That's still above the normal 68. Upper 70s in the valleys on the Inland Empire, and around that 68 for our coastal communities. We're still looking at a chance for rain in the forecast. I'll detail it out, show you the timeline in just a few minutes. In the meantime, back to you.
Maria, thank you. A driver facing criminal charges after a crash killing one of his passengers in Woodland Hills.
Gigi Gracieta is live at the scene with all the details. Gigi?
And police tell us that driver is only 20 years old. Good morning, everyone. We're on Valley Circle and Valerie. You can see LAPD units still at the scene of the crash. And while the car has been towed away, they are awaiting street services to come and clean up all of the debris because the car did slam into a tree, bringing down parts of that tree with it. Take a look at the video. This all happened here on Valley Circle at 1:30 this morning. That is when police tell us the driver of a blue Ford Mustang with 2 male passengers in his car lost control, skidded and slammed right into that tree. Now, the driver was able to get out of the car on his own with minor injuries. There was a man in the back seat who also got out. He was uninjured, but sadly, the male passenger in the front seat, he was killed instantly upon impact. There was nothing that firefighters could do for him. And before firefighters even arrived, there were several residents who heard the crash. They came running out. One man brought fire extinguishers because there was a small fire, and he worked to put that out as he waited for firefighters, while another man tried to help that trapped passenger. But again, sadly, there was nothing anyone could do for him.
And it seemed like they either slammed on the brakes or they started slipping. And all I heard was just a loud noise. And I came outside and I heard two of the kids screaming, "Help, help." So I went right outside to see what was going on, and I saw the kid, like, pretty much was stuck on the passenger side.
Now, police are still investigating. They tell me they don't believe that this is an incident of street racing. Speed, of course, may have been a factor, but they do believe that the reason the driver lost control, according to investigators, is because they think he was under the influence of alcohol. That 20-year-old driver now facing charges of vehicular manslaughter and driving under the influence of alcohol. He was going to be booked this morning. As for the identity of the victim in that front seat, we're told by police he's a male in his 20s. His name will be released by the medical examiner once his family is notified. Valley Circle has reopened for traffic in both directions. Reporting live in Woodland Hills, I'm Gigi Gracieta. Back to you.
Unfortunate situation. All right, Gigi, thank you. In Fullerton, one person is dead, another injured following a fire this morning, which destroyed 3 mobile homes. The surviving victim has been transported to the hospital. The extent of the injuries unclear. Firefighters got the call just before 5 in the morning. It happened on 1800 block of West Orange Thorpe Avenue near Brookhurst. And 3 units caught on fire. The cause, of course, still under investigation.
Happening today, the 2026 Greater LA Homeless Count begins, and volunteers are still needed. The count runs for 3 nights across LA County, and it gathers crucial data to guide funding policies and services for homelessness relief. Organizers say last year's efforts helped reduce homelessness in Hollywood by 49%. The event begins at 8 o'clock tonight at 6000 Hollywood Boulevard. So if you'd like to volunteer to help with the count, you can still RSVP on the county's website.
Police pushed through a big crowd to break up a fight following a stabbing that happened at the end of a Martin Luther King Day parade in Leimert Park area. Police say that stabbing actually happened just before 2 yesterday afternoon near McClung Drive and Stalker Street, where a large group had gathered. The crowd started surging into the street, and that prompted the LAPD to set up skirmish lines and move in its tactical squad. Some of the crowd started throwing bottles and other things at police, injuring 3 officers. The crowd was eventually dispersed, though. Mayor Karen Bass condemned the violence.
Meanwhile, Los Angeles joined cities across the country to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day yesterday. The celebrations honored the American civil rights leader who fought against racial segregation and discrimination. But the festivities also fostered reflection over what the country has witnessed over the last year, including protests, political division, and policies related to immigration enforcement.
We needed this. See, sometimes just take the pressure off your brain, your mind, your stress. You need something like this.
No school being today, we're going to come out and show them this is why there's no school today. It's the celebration.
Some Antolinos say the holiday and freedom festival is a reminder that we are more similar to our neighbors than we may think.
Students volunteering to help the San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity rebuild a home destroyed by the Eaton fire.
Mario Ramirez live in Altadena with that story. Mario?
Good morning. That's right. Just over a year after the Eden fire, recovery is still underway, and this morning we're seeing it firsthand with the help, as you mentioned, of student volunteers. So take a look. They're busy this morning here. They just had a safety meeting, and now the work is getting done. Students from Los Angeles Trade Tech College on the front lines helping to rebuild a home that was lost in the Eden fire last year. Now, this is part of a build day with the Los Angeles Community College District, which has 9 colleges across the county, and the San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity. Now, I want to bring in Alberto J. Roman. He is the chancellor for the LA Community College District. This has a personal feel for so many of the students, or I should say faculty and staff that are out here on site today.
That's correct. You know, we unfortunately did not escape the wildfires. We had over 6,000 of our own students that had to be evacuated. Hundreds of them actually lost their homes or lost housing. Dozens of our faculty and staff unfortunately lost their homes as well. So this is personal to us, to LACCD. And today we brought the compassion of our students into action. They're ready to help. They're ready to support these efforts, and they're excited about what they can do in terms of improving our own communities here.
And why are partnerships like this so important? You all are working with Habitat for Humanity.
Correct, because there's 2 reasons. One, and first and foremost, we're teaching our students about community service, the importance of helping their communities, but also we're looking for opportunities for our students to get jobs. 4 out of the students that are here today are actually alumni of Trade Tech College. They were part of our program. They're now working for Habitat for Humanity. So for us, exposing our students to these opportunities is important so that we can get them jobs. But again, more importantly, I think many of these students are part of our community, and they're here just to help improve and empower and uplift our communities in these current times.
Yeah, and tell me about the fund here, raising money.
That is correct. So our director of the foundation through LACCD actually lost her home. This is her neighborhood. And at that moment, we got her to actually go out, look for donors to actually secure $4 million. These are going directly to our students, to our employees that lost their homes. So we were able to mitigate some of the losses and help them in the dire need. So it's an all-around holistic approach. We're helping build. We're helping with financial components. So LACCD has been instrumental in the Altadena fires and the improvements.
Chancellor Roman, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. So the recovery efforts continue here in Altadena. We'll have another update coming up on Good Day LA. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Great work that they're doing. It's so nice that you're there, Mario. Thank you. Streaming giant Netflix is doubling down in a battle for Hollywood. Today, Netflix shifted its multi-billion-dollar bid to an all-cash offer. By ditching the stock swap and offering straight cash, Netflix trying to box out a rival bidder and make that deal impossible for shareholders to refuse. If the nearly $83 billion deal goes through, HBO, the DC Universe, and Warner Brothers Film Library would all move under the Netflix umbrella. A final vote is now fast-tracked for April.
Big news in Santa Clarita. Just days after a historic restaurant closed down, it's back open. The iconic Saugus Cafe opened its doors again Monday. It was rebranded under a new name, the Saugus Restaurant. 2 weeks ago, after serving the area for 140 years and serving famous customers like Clark Gable and Frank Sinatra, inexplicably, the Saugus Cafe shut its doors. Well, it reopened yesterday under new management.
A lot of our regulars showed up to support us, so that was very nice to see.
Did you enjoy your meal today?
Yes, I did.
And the service?
Yes, the service was good. Excellent.
It's diner food, but it's good diner food. The coffee is great, and the people are great. I get to flirt with the waitresses.
Many of the old employees were rehired, and in addition to the famous breakfast meals, customers will now be able to order some Mexican dishes as well.
President Trump calling for a one-year 10% cap on credit card interest rates starting today. Credit card rates averaged 14% in 2021 and surged to 21% last year. Some people are paying close to about 30%, which is why his proposal has received bipartisan support. They say current rates trap working families in debt. However, one financial advisor and consumer advocate warns people to look past the headline.
Sounds great, but you might want to see what's going to happen after the fact. First and foremost, they can't go after the credit card companies. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they're basically tech companies. They facilitate transactions. The ones that are making the loans are the banks. It's not even legal what they're proposing right now. All the banks are going to do is they're going to just basically cancel everyone's credit card unless you have the highest level of credit and they actually know you.
Economists warn that leaders such as banks could slash credit to consumers, and particularly those who are low income or have low credit scores. 9/11 still to come. Amanda's got entertainment headlines after the break, including one of Beyonce's biggest fans driving his ex-wife crazy.
Okay, but first a check of traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. As we take a wide look, man, you can tell on the roads right now that it is back to work, back to school after a holiday yesterday. The good news is this. I wanted to show you one of the cameras that actually look pretty good right now. This is the 210 eastbound, and very nice, moving nicely here towards the Inland Empire. We get both sides moving at good speeds. The speeds in and out of downtown LA, however, it's been really slow, especially on this 10 freeway. Westbound 10 between the 5 to the 4-5 going out of downtown towards Santa Monica. It's over an hour on that stretch of the 10. Northbound 110 between the 4-5 to the 10, 34 minutes. And on that West 60, also quite slow between the 57 to the 5, 46 minutes there. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.